Alright, so I just turned 37 years old last month and I wrote a newsletter where I talk about the 37 lessons I've learned turning 37 years old. Here's a video about it, and yeah, I think some people like to watch videos, so I just want to share what I've learned so far in business, in life, in parenthood, okay, and for the past 37 years. So you see, the thing is this, right? I always wanted to be rich. Right, it's a confession I wrote on my Instagram as well, right? I really always want to be rich. I want to make a lot of money. I want to make like $1,000,000, millions and millions of dollars. That's why I went to study banking and finance in university, because bankers make big money, right? But then, as I turned 37 years old, right, last month, I came to realize that I'm really rich, right? Well, not rich in money, but I'm rich in love. I'm rich in relationships, rich in health as well, right? I'm healthy at this age. I have no pains in my body, okay? And I have two lovely kids, lovely wife. My parents are still alive, and I realize I'm rich in that way. And that's to me, that's maturity, right? It's not just rich in money and material stuff. Young people, if you're watching this in your early 20s, you're in a hustle mode, right? Hustle bros, you want to make a lot of money. I was once at that stage, but right now, at this age, to me, rich means different thing, right? I want to be rich in health, I want to be rich in love, I want to be rich in time as well. And I realize I have all of those. Alright, so here are some lessons I want to share with you turning 37, and I hope that it will inspire you in some way or another. Alright, so when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, right, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that freedom is more than money. Right, you can make all the money you want in the world, but if you don't have that time to spend with your kids or with your parents, it is pointless. Okay, and to me, freedom is worth more than money, and for me, I use systems to build that. Right, so if you want to see how I do it, you can download my free PDF called Client Flow. I basically systemize a lot of my work. So number 2, scale only what's working. I mean, if you know, some of you should know that I work with clients one-on-one to help them with their business and their business growth, their strategy, right? And one simple advice I always tell people is that just do more of what's really working. Okay, so a lot of us always have that shiny object syndrome, right? Some of you try Facebook ads, then want to try TikTok ads, then want to try Google ads, right? But the thing is this, you just go and look at your current business, what has been working for you. For example, if Facebook ads has been working for you, just focus on doing more of that, like spend more on that. I'm not just talking about ads, but like generally, just go and think about what are the things that's working for you, right? And then do more of those. That's what I mean by, scale only what's already working, right? Because a lot of people want to try a lot of things, TikTok ads, YouTube ads when it comes to client acquisition, right? Or they want to try this product, try the next product. I understand I'm an entrepreneur as well, right? But the thing is, sometimes you just want to like slow down and think about what has already been working and just do more of those. Alright, number 3, a good offer will always beat a good ad. You can do the nicest copywriting, the nicest video, but if your offer is not good, it will just not convert. A lot of times I use the word offer, I don't mean like giving like discount. Offer is like what you're selling to people. What are you offering to people? What is the product or service you're offering? And you want to make sure that it's a very, very good offer. And once you have a good offer, no matter how ugly your ads is, it will still convert. For example, one of the strong offers I've created for my music school last time was, you come for my 2-hour ukulele workshop. I think I was selling at $99. Right? You will bring home a ukulele worth $109 for free, and you'll get to learn how to play the ukulele. So that's what I mean by a good offer. Alright, so a good offer will always beat a good ad. Okay, number 4, don't run after opportunities. Now, this has got to do with how you position yourself, right? For those of you who are experienced salespeople, you know what I mean. Sometimes if you get into a sales conversation, if you appear too desperate, right, people can feel it. These days, I don't find myself trying to chase for opportunities anymore, right? Rather, I will just like use my content, write more content, put out more content, and start to attract instead of me chasing. And people can feel it, right? If you are not as needy, because when you're needy in a conversation, in a sales conversation, it basically just, it doesn't look good for you. The perception of the prospect have in terms of your confidence as well. Because if you're needy, okay, just think of like a needy insurance salesperson. If they are very pushy, obviously you'll be very turned off by it. Position yourself such that clients will come after you instead of you chasing after them. Okay, that's something I learned. Might be a bit hard to explain, but yeah, I can dive more to it next time. Okay, number 5, your story sells better than your pitch. Most of the time, people are sucker for stories. So always learn storytelling. Once you can learn how to tell a good story, people will buy from you. Okay, number 6, abundance mindset always wins. Okay, so this is something I talk a lot about as well. Like to me, right, there are basically 2 types of mindset. Abundance mindset and scarcity mindset, right? You must understand that business is not a zero-sum game. There's always enough to go around, like if you're an entrepreneur, right? Let me give you an example, right? For example, like I run some sort like a marketing agency. I'm always very open to share tips or what's working right now. But some people just don't share, right? There was this marketing agency owner, right? When I start to share with him my stats, right, he was very surprised. Hey, wow, you're so open and share with me. I said, why? It's okay, what? Right? It doesn't hurt, because you must understand that like there's enough clients to go around. That's what I mean by like abundance mindset. If someone who has scarcity mindset, right, they will not share anything. They'll keep everything to themselves, and basically if you do that, then you will lose, right? I feel that we have to always think win-win, and that's what I mean by abundance mindset. Number 7, clients pay for clarity, not jargons. Okay, this is something very important when you all do your prospecting, your presentation. Don't have to go too deep into all the complex stuff. Just, basically explain how you can solve that problem and give your client that clarity. That will help a lot in your closing, in your sales as well. Number 8, most ad problems are usually offer problems. Alright, it has nothing to do with your video, your image, your colorful, your copywriting. It's basically think about that offer. Okay, if it's not working, just reposition something. Come up with a better price, come up with a better complimentary free gift, package something better. And that will usually be the biggest needle mover in terms of your ad performance. Number 9, boring products can be gold mines. So those of you who are looking to start your own business, you might be thinking, what's the best business to start, right? Wow, should I go into crypto, trading, all the very hot stuff, right? But sometimes it's the boring business that work. For example, like a laundromat, right? Or for example, a cleaning service, physiotherapy, right? These boring businesses are usually the easiest to scale because it's a need, it solves a problem. All right, so boring products are gold mines. Okay, number 10, scaling is all about mathematics, right? I share a lot about this as well. If you are running ads to get clients, always remember this formula, right? As long as your CAC, your customer acquisition cost, is less than your AOV, average order value, you can scale way more. For example, if you spend $200 to acquire a client who spends $2,000 with you, will you scale more? Yes, you will, because the formula works like this, right? As long as your CAC is less than your AOV, you have a lot of room to keep scaling your business. And this is something that you have to really understand if you're running paid ads to grow your business. I covered a bit about marketing, right? Let's talk a little bit more about marketing and growth. Number 11, being specific will help you to sell better. All right, for example, you don't just simply say learn how to play guitar. You can say learn how to play and sing guitar in just 2 hours. That's what I mean by being specific, right? So each time you list out what is your solution, you must list out clearly what you can help your prospect to solve, right? I can solve your back pain in just 1 session. Okay, I can help you to walk better or run faster. You get what I mean, right? It's always like a clear outcome that will always help you if you're more specific. Number 12, retargeting builds trust, not just conversions. Marketing and content, it's really just staying top of mind of people, right? And usually when I run ads, I will be sure to run some sort of retargeting ads. For example, today you saw my product and you didn't buy, right? The next day I will retarget you again with more proof of why this product works and why this product suits you. Okay, so when you plan your marketing campaign, always make sure to insert this retargeting part to it, because basically you want to be omnipresent, and that's also one way to build more trust. Number 13, proof beats promises. Now, you can promise as much as you want, but it will not be as effective if you have a proof to show people that your product works. Okay, so when you're running ads, when you're talking to people, always think about how you can bring that proof out. If you're running ads straightforward, right, you just show customer testimonials, customer reviews. But when you talk to your prospects, maybe you can like show proof of maybe photos, certain outcomes or certain results you have helped your clients to achieve, because proof will always sell better than promises. Number 14, systems is more important than hustle. I hustled a lot when I was younger, but now as I'm older, I become wiser. I use a lot of systems to help me, right? I have automated WhatsApp messages going out, I have automated emails going out, and all this gave me back my time. All right, so always remember to build systems and not just hustle hard. Number 15, omnipresent wins. So remember, when you are doing a piece of content like me right now, okay, I'm doing this content, remember to spread it everywhere. Alright, in fact, this video you're watching right now came from my newsletter. My newsletter is my pillar content. Then I record a video and I spread it across Instagram Reels, TikTok, Facebook, all the video, YouTube Shorts as well. Okay, so remember to be omnipresent, because that will help you in the long run. Number 16, a lead magnet is just the start. Okay, and it will help you to nurture to get more clients. A lot of people think the lead magnet will not work, but I'm using the lead magnet model very well to get clients. In fact, I'm using the lead magnet model for all my clients as well. If you want to get leads, right, you want to give them something in return. If you want a number, you got to give them something. And that's where you create lead magnet to give them value. And then they come to you, and that's where you can start to nurture them. That is basically the premise of why lead magnet model can work. And that's how I'm making it work. Okay, I'm using it as a conversation starter, so to speak. Okay, and that's where you can start to nurture these leads, and eventually, if you nurture it right and you do the right things, they will then become your clients. Number 17, good copy doesn't just explain, it makes people feel understood. So when you write ad copy, or in fact when you're just talking to your prospect, right, You don't just explain, right? You want to make sure that they feel understood, right? I understand your back pain. Okay, let's talk about marketing terms. Okay, I understand that you boost ads, right? You boost the Facebook ads and you still cannot get clients, right? Okay, and I know that it's very frustrating. Okay, but that's because it's not the best way to do it. Okay, so when you talk to people, you want to make them feel understood. That translates into your writing as well. Okay, you want to be able to write in a way that make people feel understood, because when they feel understood, that's where they start to build their trust in you, and then they will start to know that, hey, you're actually the guy that can solve their problem. Okay, let's talk a bit about money and investing. I always feel that the best asset is you, right? It's your mind. Okay, so invest fiercely back into your own skills, your own knowledge, because that will give you the biggest return, right? Somewhere along my content, you will have seen how I lost all my money in trading, but how I made everything back was not through trading again, but through my own skills. Okay, because I took the time and effort to go and invest in my skills, invest in my knowledge. So the biggest asset is you. Never forget that. Sometimes boring wins. I had 3 trading accounts. One is my own, one is my wife, and one is my son's. So my own account is the worst because it's very risky. I do all the stupid things like trading options. That's why I lost a lot of money. For my son's portfolio, I buy all the tech stocks, Apple, CrowdStrike, some of the stocks which grew very well. And my wife's portfolio is the most boring. Every month I just put X dollar into S&P 500, right, ETFs. And guess what? These 3 portfolios, the one with the biggest return since 2020 till now, 2025, is my wife's portfolio, which is the one that is the most boring one. Every month, just put in money into the ETF. So that's actually my strategy moving forward, right? Just do it the boring way, because boring wins. Number 20, risk feels bad now, but sometimes staying safe actually costs you more. I don't know about you. For me, I used to be a risk taker, but after what has happened, I am a bit more careful right now. But the thing is this, right? If I were to not do anything, if I were to not take the risk to start my own business, to come into entrepreneurship, I would just be a comfort zone where I wouldn't grow. What I'm trying to say is playing too safe sometimes kills your upside. So it is okay to take risks sometimes. And as they always say, inaction is the worst thing that you can do. Okay, so always take action, always grow. Number 21, one good deal beats 10 average ones. Okay, so this is just a general concept. You can apply it into stocks. You can apply it to business as well. A lot of people like to do a lot of businesses, right? So last time I always see the word serial entrepreneur. I'll think, wow, this guy is so cool. He's a serial entrepreneur. But if you go and think about it, right, all the serial entrepreneurs, right, they actually started with one main business before they start to diversify and do more. And in fact, you just go and think about the big business people. They actually just focus on one business. So this concept applies, right? Just one good business is better than 10 average ones. One good deal is better than 10 average ones. Okay, that one good stock will also make you a lot of money compared to like buying 10 average ones. Okay, so that's an interesting wisdom that came to me recently. Okay, let's talk a little bit about health and fitness. Your body is your number one business. Always remember to take care of your body. I'm sure I've heard of this term before, right? You can have a lot of problems, all right? But once you have health problem, you only have that one problem. Okay, so always remember your health is your biggest business. Take good care of your body. Go and work out regularly, go and eat regularly, because once you have a healthy body, healthy mind, then you can start to do more business or, go and pursue all the things that you want to pursue. 23, consistency beats intensity. Now, this one is something that also just recently occurred to me, and I hate to admit this, but consistency is really the hardest thing to do. Just go and think about it. Can you do content every day? It's very easy to say, okay, I'm going to post every day, right, on Instagram. But can you actually do it? It's not easy, because consistency is really the hardest. And you want to make sure that you be consistent, because if you're consistent, that's the way to actually grow in the long run, right, rather than being intense. Okay, let's talk about studies, right? Some people like to one shot burn beat now and go and study non-stop, right? Study overnight and go for your exams. Actually, that was me last time. But if I think back, if I were to just be consistent in listening to my teacher when she was teaching, right, I would have done much better rather than being so intense when it's nearing to exams. Okay, so always remember, consistency beats intensity. 24, stretching and mobility is always being underrated. I focus a lot on being flexible. I focus a lot on being mobile. Sometimes I can't even squat properly. Okay, so that's why nowadays, before I go and lift weights and all, I make sure I stretch first. Stretching and mobility might be boring now, but it is actually very, very priceless. So remember, don't underestimate the importance of stretching. Number 25, swim, lift, move. Every workout session is a deposit into a future self. To be honest, I really don't enjoy exercising. Do you think I like to swim? Swimming is very boring, but I swim twice a week. And why I do it? Because I really just see the benefits of doing it. Because I know my 60, 70-year-old self will thank myself today for putting the time to go and work out, to go and swim. Okay, so always remember to invest in exercising. Let's talk about family and fatherhood, right? Some of you know that I got 2 lovely kids. I love my kids. Okay, and number 26 is this, right? The little moments are the big wins. A lot of people think that we need to make a lot of money before I can go and shower my kids with nice gifts, bring them on big holidays. But actually, it's not true, you know. It is those little moments like bringing them to the playground downstairs. I walk them to school. We take bus together. These are the little moments that are actually the big wins for them, because it means a lot to them, just being present with them. Alright, so that's a huge lesson for me, and I will always want to remember this lesson. And which brings me to point 27. Kids will not remember gifts. They will not remember the presents. They will only remember when you show up for them. Okay, so always remember, it's presence over presence. Okay, so yeah, that's a important lesson as well. Number 28. Freedom to me is being there whenever your kids need you. Okay, so I build up my business in such a way that I can send my kids to school every day. I can pick them up from school every day. I will not miss any of their concerts because I'm able to do so. And to me, freedom, that's real wealth. 29. The best wins are not your business wins. They're the ones that you share with your family. And yeah, a lot of things that I do is for my family, right? And I hope that resonates with you. Okay, finally, let's talk about life and philosophy, right? Losses in life are actually lessons, right? I lost a lot of money in trading, but it's just a phase that will pass. Remember, every time you struggle or you lose something, adopt that mindset that, okay, this is just a passing phase. I'm going to just get past this, and one day I'll look back at this and think, hey, okay, I managed to overcome that. And that's the attitude I want to bring along with me next time when I meet my next struggle. Right? I don't think I'm going to have a smooth life. The next time shit happens, I will just think, now shit is happening. I will get through this. And I'll look back and think like, okay, I managed to overcome this. Okay, so remember, losses are actually lessons in life. Number 31, abundance is magnetic. The more you think about something, the more you attract it. I know this sounds very woo-woo, alright, but this is basically the law of attraction. If you go and Google The World's Greatest Secret by Earl Nightingale, you will realize this. You will become what you think about. In short, what you think about, you will attract. I don't know whether you can resonate with this, but these days I find myself finding this law very, very true. Okay, so always think about that business that you want to have, that life you want to envision, right? Always think about it, and soon that will manifest. And there's a whole theory behind why it will happen, okay? Because once you keep thinking about something, for example, I keep thinking that I want to build a big business, alright? Then you will start to take actions to go and do that, because that's all you think about every day. So there's actually theory to it. It doesn't mean that you think about it and you don't take action, it will happen. Obviously, it will not happen. It comes with action, but it really starts from like what you think you want to become. And that's really important. Number 32, self-care fuels self-worth, and self-worth fuels net worth. This took me a while to understand as well. I read this from this guy's Facebook post, Alan Saltanik. He's a marketing guru, right? I like to read what he writes. It's very interesting because he says this, right? Your net worth is somehow tied to your self-worth. Of course, that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case where if you have low net worth, you should have low self-worth. But what he's trying to say is this, right? If net worth is tied to self-worth, self-worth is actually tied to self-care, ma. A lot of times, right, people don't feel worthy of themselves because they don't love themselves. They don't take care of themselves, right? But if you do take care of yourself, if you love yourself, that will increase your self-worth, right? And when you increase your self-worth, you feel more confident in yourself, you have more self-esteem, then you are more willing, confident, daring to go and take more action, which could then increase your net worth. So do you see the connection? Okay, I don't know if you relate to this, but I see a lot of point in this. So nowadays, I really remember to take care of myself, right? Go for that massage that you want, go for that movie, right? Always love yourself, because once you love yourself, once you take care of yourself, then you will be able to go out and achieve greater things. 33, life is not a textbook. I really feel that there's no model answers in life. It's not like school, right? If you do a math question and you do not do it, you can just refer to the answer and can get it correct. But it doesn't work like this in life. Okay, there's no model answer in life. There's no right or wrong. Nobody says that you have to make $1 million to be happy. Ignore what everybody say, right? Live your own life. There's no right or wrong. Just go and think about what's the best for you. Because again, it's not a textbook. There's no model answer. Nobody said that you have to go and become a lawyer or a doctor, then you can become rich. No, you can become rich these days being a content creator. And who says you have become rich? Nobody says you have become rich, right? You can still be happy with very little. Okay, so again, what I'm trying to say is that there's no right or wrong answers in life. Number 34. happiness is a state of mind. I repeat, happiness is a state of mind, which means happiness can be learned, it can be conditioned. I used to read a lot about, how to be happy, because I'm always very curious about happiness, right? The most recent quote I had was from Naval Ravikant, right? He said that happiness can be learned. It is a state of mind. You don't need a lot to be happy. It's just that you can just tell yourself, I'm content, I have all I need, and therefore I'm happy. I think this is something that we should all try to learn, right? I also came across this sentence. If you can put yourself in a bad mood for no reason, you can also put yourself in a good mood for no reason. Obviously, you should choose to put yourself in a good mood for no reason. And it's something that can always be learned. Sometimes I'll think, how am I feeling right now? Okay, I'm happy. Alright, so it is a state of mind. Number 36, rest and play are not wasted time. For those of you, the hustlers out there, I always believe that it's important to take a rest. And sometimes it is also important to go and play. Okay, because once you rest, you can go further. Okay, so always remember to play and rest. Number 37, it is very possible to design a life that you love. Yeah, it's really possible to design such that, right, your work doesn't feel like work. Like for me, every day, yeah, I'm running ads for my clients. I'm talking to them about their strategy, but it doesn't feel like work to me because I enjoy doing it. Right, I enjoy talking about ads. I can talk about ads all day. I can talk about marketing all day. I can talk about persuasion and sales all day, and it doesn't feel like work to me. And it's, in fact, I realize I have no hobby. Some of my friends start to go and play football, play golf. My hobby, guess what? I read more about marketing stuff. Look at all the books that I have here. Yeah, I just love doing my work. Every day it doesn't feel like work to me, and yeah, I really think it's possible to do that. You just have to go and find what you like to do and see whether you can turn that into a profession. At 37, I really don't feel that I know everything. I don't feel like I figure everything out. Like I said, life is an ongoing journey. But yeah, these are some of the lessons I've learned, and at 37, I feel that success is not about having more, it's about knowing that you have enough. Alright, so I hope this video has been interesting for you. If you enjoy my content, subscribe to my YouTube, or you can just opt into my newsletter where I write emails and share about life, share about entrepreneurship. Alright, so thank you, and let's keep in touch.